They have no warrant. He said that he's searching for people with nobody who's paroled here. They're looking for somebody who is currently in county jail.
My name is Jamela Russell, and I'm from Moreno Valley, California. On January 14th, a group of officers entered into my home with no permission, no warrant or anything, and arrested me.
Who are you looking for? Back up. Have a seat right here. Actually, we're conducting. Come on down here, ma'am.
No, my son is up here.
After the officers wasn't able to show us a search warrant, I wasn't able to close the door because one of the officers had their foot in the doorway.
Excuse you. You can put your feet on my door. You have no right to have your foot on my property for a reason. We're trying to find a reason because she is not paroled here. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. No, she's not.
The officers' first approach was to look for males in the house, which there was no males in the house. Then the second time around was looking for people, and they couldn't identify what type of people or who. And then the third time around, they was looking for my sister, which my sister is incarcerated.
So to be clear, you're saying you don't have to show any paperwork or anything?
No, sir.
Okay, let's see.
And had anybody just run into the house or come into the house before the officers came?
No, nobody at all.
And what were you doing before the officers came?
Getting ready to go out to a party, my nephew's party. The police officers told my younger brother outside not to come in. If he come in, they threatened to shoot and to arrest him.
Stay back for me. Stay back for me. Stay back. Back up right now, sir. Or you're going to be going to jail.
I will not be going to jail.
Yes, you will. You will stand back. You do not come up here.
Sir.
We're giving you a lawful order to stay back. We're going to do a parole compliance check on a police that lives here. You step out by the tree, sir.
He's not a resident that live here.
The officers detained me, according to them, resisting arrest and obstruction of something. Yet I don't know why, but I truly think that they just arrested me because they looked bad and they had to take someone out of there. As they was arresting me, they was searching the house.
Walk around with you. Yes, we can.
Let's clear the bottom. You're about to go to jail, so put your hands behind your back.
For what?
We're done.
For what?
You hit me with that
For
photo?
what? Wow.
Keone, come here.
For what?
No, come here. Just, it's all right.
Wow.
You don't even have a reason.
Okay. You have no right to search this house by yourself.
No. It's all
You have
right.
no reason. No, you don't. For what?
Then why is she handcuffed? That doesn't make
After several times.
You don't have to yell at me, sir.
Okay, then
you
please
don't
have a
have to
seat,
yell
ma'am.
at me.
Then please have a
Thank
seat.
you. No, he's not doing nothing to me.
Stay out there. Stay out there.
I think call everybody out here now, please.
Stay right out
They
there.
got me handcuffed.
Sit down, ma'am.
This is his property. He has his gun out. She didn't do anything. Just sit down.
Why y'all doing this? Because if somebody came up to your house and doing your
So they
family,
just invaded the house. They're looking
I will explain to you.
parole for
Over and over,
who?
giving
You
you
said
lawful orders
people.
with the same
That's
thing.
not a lawful
Jail.
order.
How you gonna parole search?
They're
for
searching the
someone
house
in
with no
jail?
warrant right now for no reason.
I was released the very next day, early morning, around 1 a.m. When they came into my home and arrested me, one officer was pinning me against the wall, and another officer came from my right side attacking me, and they was just manhandling me and dragged me out to the police car and threw me in. And when they went to the police station, that's when they started shackling me down, had me stand against the wall, want to do extra searching. They put a chain around my stomach, all extra tight. They chained my arms down to my waistline, and then they chained my ankles down as well.
Sit
there.
down, ma'am. Ma'am, please
What
sit
am I
down.
doing?
Sit
I
down.
have no gun. There's no reason for you to
I'm
be
going to put you
holding.
in handcuffs also if you don't sit down.
You don't have to put me in handcuffs.
If you sit down,
Okay,
that's
you
all
don't
it
have
is.
to yell at me either. That's harassment as well. That's aggression as well.
Yes, ma'am.
It is.
You're not following instructions.
Tiana,
Who are you?
Tiana,
You're in my property though.
can you grab my phone? And call Deshaun.
Every time they had 2 different times that they want to put me against the wall to say that they need to search and check my ankles again, which I have a dress on that comes above my knees. So that's when I knew that they was doing something sexually behind me without me really knowing or seeing, because I looked over and I saw the other officers the way they was looking.
Were these men or women officers?
All men officers, not one woman officer. From the stomach one, I have my right side of my hip that hurts. But from my both wrists, yes, I have bruises and marks all on my hands, and they're still here till this day. And my ankles are bruised up and sprung as well. My charges was not dropped. When I went to court, they wanted to pin 3 years probation, 90 days in jail, and a fine and everything else. Yes, numerous times the police officer harassed me by pulling up next to my vehicle all fast and slowing down and making faces and then drive off. And I had like a witness in the car with me a few times to see it. I do believe I'm on the surveillance with them, and they're watching me, and because I happen to see them out of traffic anywhere throughout Moreno Valley, Riverside, and then sometimes in the neighborhood of where I live. Out of this situation, I do not want it to happen ever again or to the next person. And for everyone to see what's really going on, how they still doing things. And I want my name, everything expunged. I want this record to be closed out and expunged because I don't have a record at all. Never had one.
Ultimately, we want justice. What we feel justice looks like in this scenario would be officers being disciplined. If there is not already a policy against officers taking these actions, we like the Moreno Valley Police Department to implement policies to prevent this kind of activity happening ever again. We already have the Constitution that ensures Ms. Russell's right against unreasonable searches and seizures. And in this case, the reason they claimed to be going in the home was to do a parole check for someone who had, in January of 2018, for someone who had been in custody since August of 2016 and is still currently in custody, which I know if I can Google that information and find it on the web, then the officers with all of their resources are able to find that information as well, because I know at the very minimum they have Google on their phones as well. But they also have the computers that show where this person is, and it shows that she's been in custody. So it's either a blatant disrespect of Ms. Russell and her family's rights, or outright extreme gross negligence, that you were that incorrect, and we expect you to be able to investigate murder cases, rapes, assaults, and you improperly investigate whether you have the right to go into this home. So those are the aspects. Another very important aspect is that Miss Russell deserves the right to live peaceably and peacefully without the threat of harassment, the threat of harm coming to her or those in her family. So we need a statement from the Moreno Valley Police Department that they will no longer harass her. And then the healing that needs to come to Miss Russell. What she experienced was trauma. If this was a physical trauma and she broke her arm or broke her leg, she would go through physical therapy to learn how to reuse that limb. And that's basically what happened with her psyche, with her emotions. There was a break there, and now that has to be repaired, and Moreno Valley has to cover the cost of repairing that.